episode 3, the Reichenbach fall.
I can see the sadness.
One last miracle. This is lost me. We'll talk about it now in a second. Alan, give me the breakdown first.
Alright, the Reichenbach fall, last episode of season 2. Obviously, season 3 is upon us, and well, hopefully before January, before the goddamn Yanks get it.
Right, there's half our audience gone.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Did you guys speak about that earlier? Because I only started listening to the show about 9:30.
What's this now? Sorry.
Did you? Sherlock's been announced for its 3rd season, when it's going to be released.
Oh, has it? Okay, because the last we heard was January.
Oh yeah, it's 19th of January in America, but BBC's got the first rights to it, so hopefully we'll see it before.
It's going to be New Year's Day. For episode
you think so?
Yeah, it's going to be the same
as
season
last
2.
year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Last year was
well, 2012.
Yeah. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, 2 years ago.
So anyway,
wow.
Sorry.
Yeah.
the Reichenbach fall, the last episode, that Moriarty has his revenge on Sherlock by pretty much making everybody believe that Sherlock is a fake and that he's paid people to orchestrate these crimes so that he can look like the hero, whereas Sherlock actually is the hero and Moriarty's just come up with a really, really brilliant way of making him look like an idiot. And the only way that Sherlock apparently can save his friends and save his friends from dying, because Moriarty says, I'm essentially going to kill myself, and I've got people who are going to follow your friends around, and if you continue to live in this moment, then they're going to kill your friends, and that's it. There's guns pointed at them now. So the only thing that Sherlock can do is kill himself, and he stops it. He stands at the top of the building, jumps off the building as far as everybody else is aware, and including Watson is aware. He sees him jump off the building. They have a lovely little phone call before that. He lands, he sees his friend lying there covered in blood, dead as a doornail, horrible. And then they have like this funeral scene. And it is, if you go back and watch this funeral scene by itself, it just shows you how good an actor Martin Freeman really is. I mean, he walks up to the grave. There's very, very few people at the actual funeral service. Then they'll go, and he's at the graveside, and he's just looking down at the grave, and he's speaking to it, and he's just saying to Sherlock, look, just give me one last minute. We'll do something that is absolutely phenomenal. Please just come back from the dead.
And what he actually said, I'm sorry to be a stickler about it, what he actually says is, and it's great the way he delivers the line as well, he goes, just one more miracle, don't be dead. And that's how he leaves it. And that's exactly how you feel if somebody incredibly close to you, somebody life-changing comes into your life, be it a family member, be it a very close friend, if they die, that is exactly what you think if you're standing looking at their grave, basically. Don't be dead. It's so childish. It's such raw human emotion. It's such a raw, impossible want. If you're staring at the facts, the cold, hard facts that are carved into somebody's gravestone, that they are officially dead. The person buried under 6 feet of earth is that person. What's left of them, they are gone forever. And the only thing you want is, don't be dead. It's worded perfectly and it's executed perfectly. And I think that is what's so emotional about it, and that's what's so sad about it.
At least when you ask that of Sherlock, you've got a fairly good chance that he's actually going to still be alive.
Yeah.
But you ask that any normal person, chances are they're still going to be dead, I'm sorry.
Right.
Right, okay.
So everybody who's going to gravesides right now and saying, don't be dead, I'm sorry, they're probably still dead, unless they fake their own death to get a tax evasion or something like that.
Okay.
Right. Yes,
I'll bring
yes,
it back
we
down
went
there.
there. FTN went there. Right, okay, now, next one. Again, I gotta say, this at the time didn't really make me be sad, to be honest. But anyway, it's Lost, Season 3, Episode 22, Through the Looking Glass, not Penny's Boat.
That traumatised me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why, though.
I'm with Mark on this one. This did not touch me in the slightest.
Careful now.
The moment in Lost that got me was Juliet taking her own life to try and save everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That was a wonderful moment. And then it's that score that I can't remember the name of the guy that scored Lost, but he's
Michael Giacchino?
Yeah.
yes, the guy done Star Trek and stuff. He's absolutely brilliant. It's that piano score is just lovely, and it plays over this scene as well. So I'm trying to bloody explain this scene is crazy. Basically, Charlie's this dude. He's an old rocker. He's not an old rocker. He's a young rocker, but he used to be a heroin addict, and since he's been on the island, but he's still pretty much a loser to everybody in the group except for Claire and Aaron. Aaron is Claire's baby, and they think the world of him. And he decides to swim down to this place called the Looking Glass, where there's been a signal jammed, meaning that they can't get a signal off the island. He swims down there, and a few others swim down with him, and basically he ends up in this room. He decodes the message by playing Good Vibrations on the console, and then I can't remember the name of the guy that turns up outside, but there's one of the bad guys turns up outside, blows the place up. He has to close the door, lock himself in, and people were asking about this when it was up on FTN, because a lot of people chose this as their saddest moment. People were saying, why did they lock himself in? Well, it's because Desmond said if he didn't die, then Claire and Aaron wouldn't live, so he had to die to that. So he's essentially sacrificing himself not only for the people on the island, but also for Claire and Aaron. And that last possible second, he can get the message out that it's not Penny's boat, because he just spoke to her for a few seconds, and she said, "What boat? I'm not on a boat," and there's a boat offshore. So scary stuff. And he just writes on his hand, "Not Penny's boat." He's drowning, puts it up to the window, "Not Penny's boat," and then he drowns. And it's sad. And that piano music plays over it, and everybody's like, and me and Mark were just like, "What's up?"
Yeah, because I remember the "Not Penny's boat" bit being, oh, right, brilliant. But I was like, oh yeah, and Carrie died. It didn't really...
Yeah, for me, it wasn't sad, but it traumatized me, because I really liked Charlie's storyline. I really liked Dominic Monaghan. And I liked the little kind of... They're sort of getting together, but they're not, with... I forget her name.
Claire.
Australian chick, Claire, yeah. I like that, and I like that he was getting closer to Aaron. He was kind of like sort of being this surrogate father figure for Aaron and stuff. And I really liked the story, and then it just sort of ended, and he died, and, I wanted to see more. And then, of course, he came back for Series 6 as a completely different character, with no hair whatsoever, and it didn't feel like it was Charlie from the island anymore.
Matthew has written here, dude, Charlie was a sacrifice, his death was super sad, and Juliet was a... right, we can't read that out of there. Okay. Right. Okay, right, now, the next one. Sorry?
Moving on.
Moving on. Next one. Somebody's posted a picture of Jabba the Hutt, and they're comparing it to Miley Cyrus. Right, sorry, okay. Right, because it's the tongue hanging out.
Yes.
Right, number 5.
Wola, wola, so cool, wookie.
Right.
Twerk.
Same to you. Number 5. Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 5 Episode 15 The Body. Buffy's mum dies.
Gut-wrenching stuff.
Yes. Talk to us, Alan.
Right, Buffy's mum's been like the kind of, I suppose, the patriarch of the family. She's really just kept Buffy on the kind of straight and narrow, and obviously she found out Buffy was a vampire slayer, and she kind of accepted it. At first she was just like, no, not happening, and then she accepts it. She's like, oh, fair enough, you're the vampire slayer, and that's who you've got to be. And she's been with her through everything, and then she drops down, and they find out that she's got a brain tumor, and she gets it operated on, and she's fine. And you're just like, this is brilliant. They've got a couple of episodes before that are absolutely brilliant as well, where she's losing her mind, and she's not quite herself, and it was a great way of Joss Whedon showing that Buffy was no longer that teenage girl that everybody thought she was. She had to grow up, but that's one of the ways for you to grow up, is to experience a really horrible moment in your life. And then, Buffy comes home, and she's just been out all night. She's been having fun with her friend. She opens the door, and she looks over, and her mum's just lying there, stiff as a board. And she's just like, what has happened? My world has just come unravelled. And she goes over, and she's trying to revive her mum, and she's, wake up. And then she gets onto the phone. She phones 911, and she just doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know what to say. And the character's so powerful. She destroys all these demons. She fights these vampires, and she just doesn't know what to do.
Actually, trying to resuscitate her mum, she ends up breaking one of her ribs. Yeah,
it's just, it's horrible. And her mum's long gone. There's no way of getting her back, and it's just that moment, like she can't do anything, not with all her strength and all her power. She's got nothing to do, so she's just like a normal person. And poor Joyce passes away, and she's, a brilliant actress, and she was really good in the show, and she left it. The funny thing is, when I was doing my research as well, I found out that The actress actually wanted to leave the show way back in season 2, and Joss Whedon said to her, please stay for season 3, and she stayed for season 3, and then she said she wanted to leave again, and he said, please do a few episodes and then I'll write you out. I've got a plan for you, and told her what the plan was. And if you notice, if you ever watch season 4, she's only in like a few episodes of season 4.
Mm-hmm. So she basically hung around for a big finale.
Pretty much exactly what was going to happen. She's like, I love that story, and she was quite willing to do it, and then she does it, and she goes out in such a fashion. And there's been a lot of deaths in Buffy, but I think this is the one that was most heart-wrenching, because no one wants their parents to die, but no one ever wants to walk in to find a parent dead. Mm-hmm. That would be horrid.
Mm.
Yeah.
If you listen as well to the audio commentary for the episode, because Joss Whedon directed the entire episode as well as writing it, just his audio commentary for that is brilliant, so definitely give that a listen, especially if you're an aspiring filmmaker. I love how there's no score throughout the whole episode. There's no underlying soundtrack, anything like that. I love how it's so stripped away. It's a show about the supernatural. It's about fighting vampires and monsters and nonsense. All of that is stripped back. It could have been an episode of any TV drama. I think it is just done so well. I mean, there's even, the quick flashes where Buffy revives her mom. They go to the hospital. Mm-hmm. Buffy and Dawn are by the mom's side, and everything's happy. And it's like, thank goodness, Buffy, you got here in time. It cuts back, and it's just Buffy staring coldly at her mom's dead body. It's almost like the imagination in your mind kicking in of what should happen, and what, in all fairness, should happen in a normal cheesy TV series. And I love how Whedon addresses that. And there's also a great clip right at the end, which was sorely misinterpreted at the time of the episode airing, which is, they're at the morgue, Dawn wants to see her mum's body, they fight a vampire, the sheet gets pulled off her mum's face, and Dawn reaches up, and she's reaching out to touch her mum, just, to feel the inevitability of it, to feel that her mum is now a cold, dead piece of meat. It's not her mum anymore, it's just a body, it's the body. Mm-hmm. That's what the episode's even called. And Joyce is referred to as the body several times throughout the episode. Dawn reaches out to touch her mum's face. The episode cuts to black, it ends. Now that's just supposed to be, that's the finality of it. Mm-hmm. Because as soon as that screen cut to black, Dawn realised, that's it, her mum's dead, she's not coming back. Everyone on the internet immediately went, oh, but because Dawn's the key, she's going to touch her mom, and there's going to be some magical key power that gets transferred, and Joyce is going to come back to life in the next episode. And I hate that. I hate that the impact of that ending was taken away by nerds, essentially, like us, with our mad speculation.
Mm-hmm. Of course, it's a while since I watched this episode. You're saying that there's no score in it. There was a large piece of it filmed as well where Buffy was basically sitting, and it was all just back. People were talking to her and everything was going on, and all she heard was like the hum of, there was nothing coming through.
And there's also, I think it's the first part of the episode from when she walks in, there's no cuts. It is all one shot, and it's like they put the entire set, because the set of Buffy's house can be broken apart, and like walls can be taken off and stuff so they can get different shots. Mm-hmm. The entire set was actually fully put together. There was a back garden, everything, and just one guy with a Steadicam and Sarah Michelle Gellar, just the two of them just in that shot. Buffy reacting to her mum's death, phoning 911, going out the back to be sick, coming back in again, getting tissue paper to clean up the mess that she'd made. Giles arriving, like her phoning Giles arriving, the ambulance people coming to take Joyce away. All that is in one shot.
Yeah.
And it's so perfectly executed. So again, listen to Joss Whedon's commentary, because he lays it all down, perfect for young filmmakers.
Okay. Right, now, number 4. Another show. This is a show that I'm aware of, I've watched bits of, but it's one of those shows you catch an episode now and again, you never really, follow it. Well, I didn't anyway. It's The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Season 4, Episode 24, Papa's Got a Brand New Excuse, where Will's dad leaves again.
Yeah, so to explain, there's a lot of things going on about this episode, a lot of arguments going on about this episode, and I can clear that up, so I'll clear that up in a minute. But basically, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it's all pretty much what the song is about. It's a kid from Philly who goes to Bel-Air to live with his aunt and uncle because he got in a fight, and he kind of lives this kind of decent life over there. They're really affluent, they've got a lot of money. His dad, his uncle's a judge, and his aunt's a stay-at-home mom, and he just goes to school and does all the kind of stuff that you would do. But